In this video, I'll talk about strategies on how to create a winning resume. Resume that does three things: highlights your biggest achievements, it lowlights your weakest areas, and it plants three questions in the interviewer's mind. It does all of this in 3 seconds. 2 questions for creating a winning resume. Before you start writing even the first line of your resume, it's worthwhile spending time getting answers to these 2 critical questions. Question 1: what is your biggest achievement? It cannot be a GPA of 9.2, president of the Art Society, vice president at a bank. It has to be something that you can talk about for hours at an end, and it has to be something worth highlighting. It might be project related, it might be a personal experiment, it might be a great achievement closely related to the job that you're applying for. If you do not have anything like this at all, it's time to take a hard look at your life, my friend. Think about how you've been leading your life till date and what it has led you to. If you think, you will understand. If you understand, you might internalize. And if you internalize, you will take action. Question 2: what are your lowlights? Lowlights are the things that you do not want to highlight in your resume, but it is things you cannot remove from your resume. For example, if you did engineering from a tier 2 or a tier 3 college, if you dropped a year in college, if you have a gap year in your experience, there are ways and means to get creative and to work around these things if they've happened with you. Create impact with practical examples. Here are some examples for some one-on-one coaching sessions that I've done specifically on creating impact with your resume. Let's go through them and I'm sure you'll pick up some nuggets. Here's a session that I done with a BI intern, a business intelligence intern in the US. She was working in a bank in a role of a business intelligence intern, and here's what she had written. Pretty decent, pretty routine. Here's the transformed version of that paragraph. We put out a number, a big strong number of 288K of USD cost savings. Then I retained the line for the tools and technologies, the Tableau and the other things that she'd used. And also I spoke about a case study that she had presented in their annual business showcase. Now, example number 2, test automation manager. She spoke about managing a team of people, then doing the daily grind. Now we drilled deeper into this. She had actually increased productivity by 83% through automation in this JSON payload creation stuff. So 60 minutes down to 10 minutes is an 83% improvement in productivity. She had done the DevOps toolset integrations and created 5 real-time quality metrics which need to be highlighted. She had done certain tricks, certain techniques, because of which she was able to arrest attrition in her team. Example of a fresher now, extracurricular activities. She had mentioned volunteering for blood donation camps, and she was the campus lead for placement cell in her college. And here is how we recrafted that. We called it goal-oriented extracurricular pursuits. 3 new billion-dollar IT companies impaneled, 8 students placed in dream jobs, 30 liters of blood donated via overnight camp in my college. It shows the proactive nature. So very, very pointed information with impact clearly stated. So Inception, referring to Christopher Nolan's movie. He defines Inception as the art of planning an idea in someone's mind. And that is exactly what a winning resume should do. Plant 3 questions in the interviewer's mind. And these are the exact questions that you want to be asked, where you have the perfect answers, well rehearsed and ready with you. Now let's revisit the last section of impact and let us see how we have done Inception in them. Now, if you look at the first example of BI, what are the 2-3 questions that would automatically pop up in the interviewer's mind when he or she reads this text? How did you get to the 288k USD savings? What are the live dashboards about? Let's look at another example. What 5 metrics did you use? How did you select those metrics? How much was the attrition before you went in? And what exact steps did you take to arrest that attrition? You get the idea. I have just demonstrated how Inception is practically done while creating the resume.
I specialize in a very specific type of security. Subconscious security.
Another question which I get very frequently asked in my mentoring coaching sessions is this. Should I create separate resume for each job that I apply to? You don't have the time to modify your resume each single time. Also, you don't know anything more than the job description which is given to be able to even modify the resume. The solution is to create your resume in such a way that it can be looked at from multiple angles and yet it should always impress. Another question which I get asked very often is, how do I choose the format of the resume? If you're someone who's sending resume through online portals which have an ATS, automatic selection system, you should create a resume which is a keyword friendly resume. This resume is built to looked at by machines, not by humans. This is how a keyword friendly resume typically looks like. Now, what I would recommend you to do is create one of these, but at the end, add a line in bold italics. The updated UI optimized version of my resume is available at link of your Google Drive. If you are an experienced person and you typically would apply for a job through a consultant, then congratulations. You have saved the effort of creating a keyword friendly resume. All you have to focus on is creating a UI optimized resume. What the heck is a UI optimized resume? Here are some examples of this. There are some good websites which can help you create these kind of optimized resumes. I'll also pin all of this information in the description below. Now, how much creative you can get with your resume depends entirely upon you. So this BI intern girl in the US that I was counseling, she said, hey, can I create my resume in Tableau itself? You know, with graphs and bars and stuff like that. And I'm like, sure, why not? It's a brilliant idea. You look at that and you know the girl knows how to present her data online. 80% of the questions of a BI analyst sorted right there. As Tony Robbins famously said, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and your commitment. Why you still might not be able to create a winning resume? The truth of the matter is that the majority of you will still not be able to create a winning resume. It's not because of lack of expertise. It's not because of lack of technical strength. Most of us do not have enough self-belief to be able to write those impact statements that we have just crafted earlier. We start questioning ourselves with all sorts of imaginary questions. This is ridiculous. It looks so made up. How the hell will I ever be able to justify these numbers? What if the interviewer gets put off by these numbers? This is just not me. I am not a pompous person or the best one. Let me just write down plain facts. If they want to select me, they'll anyway select me. If not, the job was never for me. This is plain vanilla bullshit. The core of all of these beliefs is lack of self-love. When you have a strong sense of self-love, you understand your own value and treat yourself in a loving way. Self-love helps us take care of ourselves, lower the stress levels, quieten the noise in the brain and strive for success. It also protects us against these negative thoughts I spoke about and protects us from self-sabotage. And self-love goes much deeper than those marketed ideas of I love myself, so I'll go for shopping, I'll go for spa, I'll go for scented candles, or I just need me time. Self-love is about making investment in yourself that have nothing to do with your shopping cart. Let me end this on self-love by just saying this. No one has the answer to the right way to take care of yourself except for you. When you start spending time learning about yourself and do what you love to do, you will find yourself a pretty damn adorable person. Hope this video made sense. Take a couple of minutes, couple of seconds to pause it right now before jumping onto the next video and digest what I've said. Let me know in the comments if you need me to talk further details on anything, maybe a UI optimized resume, creative resume, or self-love. And please subscribe to the channel. It'll help me a lot. See you in the next one. Cheers. Bye.